Oh, I think we're live. Let me double check on the old YouTube. We are. We are indeed live. I'm going to try and add in my chat here for you guys, but it doesn't seem to be working. So no chat today. Sad times for everyone involved, I am sure. But we are going to be previewing the Aston Villa versus Liverpool game. Obviously, we have to share my tactics with the team that I'm going to go for. Can we come back from a couple of the worst performances I've ever seen from a Villa team? I think the Crystal Palace game, back-to-back with the Spurs and Club Brugge game, was nearly enough to send me and a lot of you guys over the edge. But it doesn't matter. We've got to be positive, right? We have to be positive. So we are going to be looking at the Aston Villa versus Liverpool game. It is at Anfield. It is tomorrow at 8 p.m. GMT. Or are we GMT? Or are we? No, we are GMT now because BST is over. That's why it's dark at 3:30. We're going to be looking at that game, answering any chats that do come through on the live chat. I'm sorry, I don't know why my live chat doesn't seem to be popping out in terms of like putting it on the screen for the live stream. I am still trying to fiddle around with it though, so please do bear with me just a second here, because I'm going to try and get it to work, but it doesn't seem to want to be working, and I can't even change it, which is very, very annoying. But oh well, I've got the chat up on my phone, so I can answer any chats that you guys do indeed have. But we're going to kick things off in about 5 minutes. It's only going to be a short stream, hopefully 20-25 minutes. We'll kick things off with the starting lineup. Ken M is already in the chat. Ken M, I see you in all these live streams. Big up to you, my brother. Of course, he says. Of course, you know we're back. Aston Villa versus Liverpool live preview. Villa fan TV type deal. Comments in the chat down below. I'll speak to you guys for as long as you'll have me, to be honest with you. Thank you. Hey, Ken M, you're my boy. You're my boy. I don't know what is going on with the live chat, not being able to put the live chat on screen. That's something that I will figure out. But OBS Studio had a bit of a nightmare, to be honest, in terms of like the whole thing was just being really, really weird. Even had to like redo my camera and my mic because for some reason that wasn't working. But we have a few people filtering in to the live stream now. Welcome. Probably in about 2 to 3 minutes we are going to be starting going through the lineup, the form of both teams, what I think is going to happen in this game, talking about injury concerns. You can see my starting lineup. I've changed a couple of things around. There's a couple of big omissions in there. That is because of injury and nothing else, effectively. And obviously, Liverpool's going to be a really, really tough game. Really, really tough game. I don't even know. Our comments are on the screen. I can't see them. I've tried to put them on there, but for some reason, the window capture or whatever is not letting me put like the live stream chat pop out on the screen. Usually it would, but for some reason it's not, and I don't know why it's doing that. I do not know why it's doing that. I've even got it like up, because that's not even viewable at the moment. But hold on. Hey, has it just popped up? I think it might have just popped up. I'm gonna have to just model things around just a little bit here and just adjust the size of it, but I think there we go. Chats are on the screen. Gentleman J, welcome into the chat. Villa will suffer another heavy defeat tomorrow. Our performances lately have been so poor. Hey, you will see. My prediction is coming up in about 10 minutes for y'all. You will see. I'm probably going to agree with you. If I'm being honest, I probably am going to agree with you pretty much instantly. There we go. I've got that coming up now. I think I just can't minimise the screen. That's where I'm going wrong, which makes more sense to me now. Now I say it out loud. But let's get into the starting lineup. As you can see on the screen there, to make sure that hasn't affected anything there. No, it has not. Emi Martinez in goal. Why would you have anyone else but the world's number one in between the sticks? Look, the amount of goals we've conceded in the Premier League is poor. Our clean sheet record in the Premier League is very poor at the moment. In fact, have we even, apart from Manchester United, have we kept another clean sheet in the Premier League this season? That might legit be our only one. I'm trying to think back to all of our results this season, and I genuinely can't remember another one. If you guys can think of one, then let me know. But I really can't. But Martinez stays in goal anyway. We're trying to disrupt that back line as little as we can, because we need some sort of consistency, and we're just not getting consistency at the moment in terms of our defence. There's a lot of room in behind. We're not catching teams offside anymore when, you have the likes of Darwin Núñez, Mohamed Salah, and possibly Luis Diaz running at you. You want to be catching them offside. Moving out to the left-hand side, Maatsen, not the greatest game, but not a bad game against Club Brugge, but Luca Digne seems to be our choice for our starting left-back in the Premier League pretty much consistently going forward. So I think he keeps his space, and maybe because of the way that Trent Alexander-Arnold plays in regards to coming into midfield and playing almost like a holding midfield role, perhaps Luca Digne will get some opportunities to get the ball into the box, although we seem so averse to crossing the ball at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. Pau Torres, the only thing I'd worry about Pau Torres would have a much better game if Liverpool started Diaz, Salah and Diego Jota through the middle. I think if they start those four through the middle, then Pau has a good chance of having a really good game defensively. Against smaller, more skillful players with the ball, more technical players, shall we say, he does really well. If they start Darwin Núñez through the middle, he could be in trouble, because he will not be able to deal with the physicality of Núñez. I'm sorry, he won't. He's been exposed for how weak he is physically this season in the Premier League. Got away with it a bit last season. His passing was all over the place against Bruges when he came on, so I don't particularly know what he offers at the moment. But that being said, after that mistake by Mings, didn't have a great game overall against Club Bruges. I think it was probably too early to chuck him back in. I don't think he can get the nod over Pau for this game. And then Konsa comes back in at centre-back. Again, a half-decent-ish game at right-back against Bruges. He isn't a right-back. Much better at centre-back again. I somewhat worry about him physically, especially against the likes of Darwin Núñez. That could be a struggle for him, but overall, the better defender than Diego Carlos, much better on the ball than Diego Carlos, so he has to get the nod for me in that starting position. And that's sort of like, that back three is pretty set, isn't it? Digne, Pau and Konsa. But Matty Cash, I think, was nursing an injury again out on the right-hand side of the fence. And I don't want Konsa to be back out there. I don't really think Bagada's done enough to come back in. I mean, he seems to kind of faded into obscurity a little bit. So perhaps Kostan Nedeljkovic gets the call up for me to right back. Anytime I see him play football, I'm very, very impressed. He's very direct, he's very quick, and he's very offensive-minded. And our right-hand side has been a massive struggle, I think, not only defensively, which doesn't get solved when you put Konsa at right back anyway, but offensively, we have not been getting a single thing going down the right-hand side, and it was such a strength for us last season. And Nedeljkovic just offers a little bit more. Every time he gets on the ball, he's positive. He breaks through the lines. Like I say, absolutely rapid. A great defender as well. For my money, probably one for the future of Aston Villa in terms of a right-back. So he gets the nod for me. Big call, big decision against a team like Liverpool. But I think he's ready overall. So I think he will be slotting in there, hopefully. I'd very, very much like to see him in there anyway. Moving on to the left-hand side of midfield, Jacob Ramsey gets the nod, purely because we don't have any other options. You'll see that McGinn has been dropped from my team. His performances consistently over the last 5 to 10 games have not warranted a starting spot for me. I know he's the captain. Sometimes these calls have to be made, and I think this is probably the time to make that call. To be bold, we're going against the league leaders. We need to be bold. And I'm just not sure what McGinn offers going forward. Yes, he has good legs, which I guess perhaps you need against that Liverpool midfield. But apart from that, I don't know what he's going to offer. And then in midfield, the big one. We got overrun in midfield against Club Brugge. And like I say, against Liverpool, their midfield is their strength. They all have incredible legs in the regards of they run. I mean, I'd like to see the average distance covered from like the Liverpool midfielders this season. It must be amazing. I've gone for Onana and Kamara. There is a suggestion that Yuri Tielemans is nursing an injury. Not 100% sure whether he will be able to play or not. And I think Onana and Kamara are much more capable of doing a job defensively and are better than playing a Yuri Tielemans who might only be at 80%. Physically, they're bigger and stronger than Tielemans, which you're going to need. They both have legs to get around the pitch. I know Tielemans covers a lot of ground as well, but you think of Kamara and Onana, they can get up and down pretty much at will. And like I say, defensively more solid, definitely more physical to deal with that Liverpool midfield, and a little bit more defensive minded than Yuri Tielemans, which I think will help us out. I think we are going to be ultimately doing a lot of defending against Liverpool. So we're going to need pretty much all the help that we can get defensively, and with Tielemans possibly not being 100%, I don't think it's worth that risk. Ross Barkley not available for this game as well, so I think those two have to be the obvious option. The only swap I could perhaps see/get behind would be John McGinn perhaps coming in for Kamara, so Ramsey on the left, Bailey, who we're going to get onto very shortly, on the right, and then McGinn and Onana in the middle, just purely because perhaps McGinn offers a little bit more going forward than Kamara, but I've seen flashes and glimpses of Onana going forward, and I've really, really liked it. So I think that could be another thing that we could possibly see brought in this game, is Onana being given that freedom to go forward and Kamara being the one that holds, the one that sits. And then moving up to the right-hand side of midfield to complement Nedeljkovic's obvious attributes in terms of speed, pace, and going forward and breaking at speed. We have probably the only rapid player left at our club at this point, which is Leon Bailey. Hasn't been able to get it going this season. That's obvious. I think it's anyone. I mean, anyone with eyes could see that Leon Bailey has been way off the pace this season. But you think of what he done last season, and look, he scammed me. He scammed me into getting him on the back of my away kit this season. So he needs to start turning up. Otherwise, I've just got a 31 Bailey kit knocking about. The other one's John Duran. I think that's probably a safe bet. The other one's Tielemans, who's doing really good. Leon Bailey's letting my shirt game down. So we need him to start popping off. And how much can you pop off with Matty Cash behind you? Probably not a lot. How much can you pop off with Ezri Konsa behind you? Well, he done it a lot last season, but with completely different style of play last year. So perhaps Leon Bailey is the one that can break the lines against Liverpool. We will see. But I think in terms of being out on the wing and being an option and being pacey, he's all we've got. He really is all we've got. And then up front, it's the typical Villa partnership that we are very, very used to in the likes of Rodgers and Watkins up front. Rodgers obviously will naturally float, as he does, into kind of that position. And we will end up in-game, offensively at least, probably something a little bit like that. Ken M. Jaden Philogene, is he fast? Jaden Philogene he's pretty quick. I'm not even going to lie to you. He is pretty quick. But I'm not 100% sure that Emery trusts him to the same extent that perhaps he does with a Bailey or a Ramsey. So I don't know if he'll get the nod. Ocean's Level says take a draw tomorrow. And then Kem says keep the faith. I would take a draw tomorrow. Hey, I'm not even going to lie. And it's very rare that I say I'll take a draw, because I feel like a draw is more times than not 2 points dropped. It always feels more like 2 points dropped than 1 point gained. But in this situation, with how we've played the last few games, I think it's probably safe to say I definitely would take a draw. Now, would we be radical? I don't even know. If I was in charge, and this is why I'm not in charge, you're all about to see live in the flesh why I am in fact not the manager of Aston Villa Football Club. And that is because I would switch it up. I would switch it up. And I'd probably do something a little bit like this. Watkins up front. Rodgers out on the left-hand side. Bailey on the right-hand side. Kamara being the one pivot that sits in front of the defence. The defence I'd probably keep the same. Maatsen possibly being the only one that I'd bring in. I'd give Onana more of an 8 role, and then next to Onana, I'd probably allow it just because he's playing centrally. If Tielemans was available, actually, I'd probably do something like that and set up in a 4-3-3. We haven't played 4-3-3 in a very long time. I'm aware of that, but I just think we need to try something. It's Liverpool. We almost have nothing to lose. Yes, I understand it's only 3 games. We probably should stick to our style that's got us so far. But for me, I just feel like our team is so perfectly set up for a 4-3-3 with the abundance of talent that we have in the centre of the pitch. If we could fit all 3 of those guys into one team, into one midfield, I think you'd probably be stupid not to. Ken says, haha. Ocean Level says, Mings in goal. I mean, he has shown over the last sort of 90 so minutes of his professional playing career that ball handling is surprisingly one of his strengths. He can take a ball really well. Really, really good distribution as well. We saw that. So possibly Mings in goal. He's 6'5". Emi Martinez plays every game. He probably needs a break. In all seriousness, though, I hope Mings, it doesn't play on him too much. I mean, look, it was a horror show. Bad mistake. But we got to, I don't even know. I don't know where he goes from there. Because it must be embarrassing. Like back when you were in school and I don't know, something would happen and you'd be embarrassed. And he must have felt so embarrassed coming back into that changing room. Just saying. But anyway, maybe something like this. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe something like that. A little 4-3-3 number. If we move on to the Premier League table here, and if we scroll down, I'm going to have to move you guys around here. So I'm just going to swing you guys over to this side here. There we go. Keep that there like that. If we look here, Premier League table, Liverpool currently sit first. Obviously, we are currently sitting in 6th position as well, so just outside of those probable Champions League spots there, because the coefficient spot seems like it is going to be coming back to England. We sit equal on points with Arsenal. We've pretty much had the exact same start to the season that Arsenal have had, in a sense of 18 points each, 5 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses there as well. Have we done 3 games? I genuinely can't even remember drawing 3 games. That's crazy. Actually, the 3 games were Ipswich, Man United and Bournemouth. Yeah, no, fair enough. But you look at our form, a draw and a loss, but you compile that with the fact that we've also lost in the Carabao Cup and we've lost in the Champions League as well. Our form does not look fantastic, especially when you take in Liverpool's form. Only lost once this season. I believe that was to Nottingham Forest, actually, who currently sit 3rd for some unknown reason to everyone in the world. But their form looks great. A 2-1 win against Wolves, 1-0 against Palace, 2-1 against Chelsea, the 2-2 draw against Arsenal, and then a 2-1 draw against Brighton. Now, one thing I will say is they don't particularly do high-scoring games anymore. But the thing that worries me is the last 3 games that I've watched Villa play football, we've looked so undynamic offensively. That really, really worries me. And this stat right here, I think it should just be showing up on your screens. 6 goals they've conceded in 10 games in the Premier League. Defensively, they are so bloody solid. You compare that to our 15 goals conceded, and all of a sudden you start to see where this game could be won and lost, and that is at the back unit of 5. Liverpool, exemplary this season, showing the Premier League how it's done in terms of defence, although Nottingham Forest have only conceded 7. How are they doing that good, by the way? But 6 goals conceded to our 15. They've also scored 2 more goals than us as well. But we have to look at the positives, as always. We're going to look at the positive in this channel. And a win, if we manage to get a win, would shoot us up to 21 points. Now, Arsenal are playing Chelsea, who are on 18 points as well, so the same points as us. I could see Chelsea winning that game, to be honest with you. Arsenal have not looked very good recently, and Chelsea have really been impressing me of late. Nottingham Forest against Newcastle. Despite Nottingham Forest flying out of the gates, you could see Newcastle winning that game, especially after their impressive result against Man City. Or was it? No, it wasn't Man City. Was it Chelsea they beat? Yeah, it was Chelsea. They beat 1-0. And did they beat Arsenal? No, they lost to Arsenal, I think. Who is it they beat recently? West Ham 3-0 as well. But the thing that really, worries me is if we lose this game, which, I think everyone would have to say is probably looking a little bit likely. Don't know, maybe. Shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger, actually, because then I'll be dead. But 18 points. Tottenham are right behind us on 16. They have Ipswich, a game you would expect Tottenham to win, I believe. Brighton, 16 points. They play Man City. That game could go either way. Man City just got drummed 4-1 in the Champions League. So, you look at perhaps Fulham against Crystal Palace. They could get a result there. Bournemouth against Brentford, they could get a result there. So there's easily 4. Newcastle on 15 as well. Jesus Christ. So Newcastle are on 15 as well. 15 points. So that's realistically 5 teams that could leapfrog us if we don't win. We could finish Premier League game week 11 going into the international break in 11th place. Really, really worrying. Obviously, the stars need to align for that to happen, but really, really worrying. If we look at Liverpool, and I just need to make sure that you guys can see there on the screen, which you can. Their last lineup is on screen now. Cody Gakpo, who I completely forgot about, by the way. They have him as well. Luis Diaz, Mohamed Salah, Jones, Gravenberch, McAllister, Tsimikas, Konate, Van Dijk, Alexander-Arnold and Kelleher. You can't really find a weakness in that team. And then on the bench, they have the likes of Darwin Nunez, Dominic Szoboszlai, Wataru Endo, Connor Bradley, who's a very, very good right back, Andy Robertson, one of the best left backs the Premier League has ever seen, if you're looking at just the Premier League era alone. On the bench as well, Jarell Quansah, who, fair enough, his DM game might be better than his CB game at the moment, but still, Joe Gomez, another great talent on the bench as well. They're stacked. They are really, really stacked. Curtis Jones has been really good this season as well. Brilliant performances from him this season. So, and it was a 4-0 win against Bayern Leverkusen, who are no joke as well. So, with all that being said, if we just bring that screen back up as we finish off here, pop myself over in the corner there. You don't put Let's Talk Villa in the corner if you're not me, I guess is what I was going for there. I don't even know. But anyway, that's my dream lineup on the screen now, as you guys can see. Thank you again for the interaction in the live chat. I know that it has been a bit of a dodgy time in terms of live streaming at 7:30 on a Friday night. I'm just trying to fit these in around work and childcare and stuff like that. But it has been fantastic to have some of you guys into the live chat. I'm trying to think when I'll live stream my reaction to the Liverpool game. Possibly a little 15-minute live chat or live stream with the chat up directly after the game. So what will that be? About 10 PM tomorrow, maybe, if I'm not shattered, because I'll be getting up nice and early. Ignore the obnoxiously loud bike that just drove past. But with that being said, guys, thank you very much for being in here. If anyone has any comments they want answered right now in the live chat, it's your 15-second warning, but I have to give it a little bit longer because you guys are delayed. Pop anything you want, your predictions into the live chat. I'm going for a 3-0 Liverpool win. I just don't think that Villa have enough at the moment in the tank to get anything going against Liverpool, and I think it could get nasty. But like I say, 15 seconds, guys. Put your predictions in the chat. Anything that you have for me, any questions, any thoughts on the Liverpool game, it's your 15-second warning. I'm going to take a swig of water because I'm about to go out on a 45-minute run. Shoot me. Ken just with loads of emojis, probably because he could not agree more with my prediction, I would imagine. Oceans Level, thanks. Hope we turn up tomorrow, and I hope you turn up tomorrow for the live stream, and subscribe if you're new, because I've never seen you around here before, and we love to have any new Villa fans in and around on the channel. As well, guys, I'm hoping to get a couple of actual videos out on the channel next week. So look out for those in and amongst the live streams as well. It is international break, so thankfully I can go back to actually doing some proper videos, which I very much enjoy. Who's playing right back? Nedeljkovic. It is indeed Costa Nedeljkovic. Right. First of all, what a name. I'm going to try and pronounce it. Let me know if I butcher it. I'm going to go for Wolfhera Mercian Warrior. I tried to put a little bit of a German twist on Wolfhera, because I think it sounds a bit German. Would it be Wolfhera? Wolfhera. Nedeljkovic, yeah. I really, really like the kid. Really, really like the kid. Anytime he gets the ball, he's aggressive. He drives forward. And that scares opposition players. No matter who you are, if you have a player who's direct, quick, powerful, it's going to put the frighteners on you. And I would start him. I don't think Cash is back in time. I think Cash might still be injured. So for me, it is Nedeljkovic at right back. And let me know if I did actually smash your name out the park. I'm sure I did. I don't get those types of things wrong. Do you know what I mean? Anything else, guys? Anything else? He's going to be a top player from Ocean's level. Absolutely right he is. Absolutely right he is. I see, and I don't think he's a flash in the pan either. And he's only 18. He's got so much time to develop. So much time to develop. We'll just wait for Wolfhera, if he's still here, to confirm whether what you think. First of all, what do you think about Nedeljkovic being right back? And second of all, did I actually get your name bang on? Because I know I did. Anyone else? Before we shoot off, as well, pop your chats in, get your chats in, and we will look to answer them as soon as we can. Because I've got to be shooting soon. 45-minute run. I'm gonna die. Maybe we don't know. All right, I'm gonna do that because then I can see on the delay on the live stream when the 10 seconds is up. But that's a 10-second warning from right now. 10-second warning. Anything you want in the live chat, pop it in before we shoot off. And I'm watching myself on the delay so I can see. Ken M. Oh God, they're all coming through. Your top 5 best players this season in the Premiership. Number 1 would probably be Cole Palmer. I think he's been absolutely brilliant. Second, oh God, that's so hard, isn't it? Top 5 players in the Premier League. Someone from Liverpool. I'm trying to think who's really important to Liverpool this season. Probably someone like a McAllister or a Gravenberch, actually, will probably be up there. I'm going to go Chris Wood for his importance this season. So far, he has been immense for Nottingham Forest. I've already said Cole Palmer being my number 1. Haaland, because of how good he was at the start of the season. I don't think that can be understated. And then 5th, I'll probably go with William Saliba, because he's absolutely brilliant. Alan Evans, not looking forward to this game. The way we are playing, could be any score. Need to stop rotating too many players, pick our best team and stick by it. Fingers crossed for tomorrow. Up the Villa. Yeah, I get the argument for not rotating as well. I do get the argument. Can we get Dougie back? It's been rumoured. Perhaps I'm doing a video on that. God, don't ever. No one clip that video of me winking. That was awful. Possibly. Right, guys. Thank you very, very much for popping in. Thanks to all the guys that I've never seen before for coming into the chat. Like I say, live stream maybe tomorrow, maybe Sunday afternoon. We will see in regards to the fallout from the Liverpool game. And then we will be back to regularly scheduled programming on the channel with a couple of videos, including one on Douglas Luiz. I've let the cat out of the bag. Douglas Luiz videos come in. We've got a video on the Aston Villa under-18s, and I've also got another video planned on Leon Bailey. Salut to you too. Isn't salut, it's French. Anyway, I'm going to get sidetracked, and I really need to go for a run, because I've got like mad new... I don't even know if I'm flexible enough to do this for you guys, but I'm going to try it anyway. If I pull a hammy doing this and I can't go for a run, that would actually not be too bad. But I've got like... Oh, God, I can't even get my leg up that far, you know. I've got, like, fancy... Look at them bad boys. Fancy new running socks and that. Shout out to the fiancé for banging those out. So my feet shouldn't sweat today. The more you know. I'm trying out my new fancy running socks. So that's what I'm going to go and do. I'm also going to say about 66 prayers for us beating Liverpool. Maybe even 106. I don't even know. But what are those? Hey, they're my running socks. Don't diss it. I've signed up for a marathon. I need all the help I can get. But anyway, cheers very much for sticking around, guys. If you are enjoying the live streams, the content and everything in between on the channel, be sure to leave a like. Subscribe down below for more Aston Villa content. And as always, up the Villa. Hi-ho, Aston Villa. perhaps we're going to do something special.